What's good, y'all? It is Chloe back here with Drench Games, and we are here with the DSFA after the season recap. And you see Benny Jenkins on the cover right there for this year.
EA Sports,
the MVP
it's in the game.
And the champ, as you see the little EA Sports in there jumping, but ooh, that's the old one. And here we see the new one. Harrison Harper kind of had not necessarily a down year, but he wasn't the MVP this year. He's already a two-time champ with the Crusaders once and with the Kings in the previous season. But this episode, we're just gonna look at the stats and talk about the teams a little bit. I definitely wanted to do a video explaining at least a little bit. My bad, y'all. But I wanted to do a video explaining a little bit of the league and how it works and the teams. So I'm gonna just start off naming the teams. So of course we have the Cincinnati Bobcats, and then we have the Kansas Kings in Topeka, Kansas. A lot of these have the same or similar color schemes to their NFL teams because, hey, I mean, why not? But yeah, as I'm looking at this stat book, the Cincinnati Bobcats, the Kansas Kings, the DC Capital Crusaders, the New Jersey Vets, the Niagara Knights, the Virginia Hawks, the Las Vegas Blackjacks, the Michigan Marauders, as you see at the bottom of the league right there. But yeah, also we have the St. Louis Stampede and the Jacksonville Fury, along with the Savannah Flame and the Carolina Islanders. So it is 16 teams, and we play about 15 games each season in tournament mode on Madden 09. Why did I choose Madden 09? Because I love the Madden 08 aesthetics, and I love that it has Super Sim. I could have chose Madden 12 on the PS2, but I hate how that scoreboard looks. It is garbage, it is awful, it is cartoony, and I think Madden 09 is the perfect medium because at 10 and 11 and 12, I mean, I know they have like quote unquote new features or whatever, but like them scoreboards is trash. But here we are, the MVP of the league, 5'8", 212, Benny Jenkins right there, 34 passing touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and then we see right under him the Kings quarterback, Brett Chapman right there with 32 touchdowns and 4 picks. And then this is QBR rating right here. I had actually paused and went to go do something else, but then we have Greg Williams from the Vets right there with 31 touchdowns to 8 picks, and then we have Josh Kendall from the Crusaders with 33 touchdowns to 7 picks. Now, everyone, the player that you see at the top that has the most yards and the most touchdowns, that player will win the award for best in that position. Now, I mean, we have position awards, and then we have also offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, and then we have MVP. So the MVP and the championship MVP, Benny Jenkins right here, as you see him, 5'8", came directly out of high school into this league, played in the companion league a little bit. We'll get into that more later, but started off in our indoor companion league a little bit. And here we are looking at the rest of the QB class. Phil Watkins actually led quarterbacks in touchdowns, but I think he also led in picks with 15s. D. Castorini with the Stampede. And then we have Henry with the Kentucky Vipers, Irvin Simmons, which is kind of like Benny Jenkins' rival. Randy Black, the GOAT, retired this season. 14-7, modest goodbye season. The rest of these guys don't matter because they only threw 1 touchdown. And here we have running back of the year. Terry Massey. Hollings, who was with that team last year, did not decide to return. We're gonna look at the stats from last year. And Harrison Harper right there, 10 touchdowns, 1.565, a lot of yards, baby. And then we have, it's a big back revolution, one of my favorite players. We didn't get to see him play, but Valerie Maynard right there, 6'7", and he had 1,000 yards. and 1,140 yards and 13 touchdowns. And Benny Jenkins right here actually putting in work as a QB, led all QBs in rushing touchdowns with 11. So here we are looking at the receiving touchdowns. We have Fred Knight. Fred Knight is definitely going to go down as one of the best receivers in league history. One-time champion, best receiver overall this year. Didn't lead in yards, but he got the nod for the award because of his legacy, you know what I mean? And everyone knew this was his last year. Like, when a guy in this league, a guy gonna tell you, either gonna tell you it's his last year or he's gonna retire just out of nowhere. And then we see Stills, he was a problem in the playoffs. 11 TDs, 846. Then we're looking at the defensive stats right here. Deshaun Richardson of the Niagara Knights leads the league in tackles and 5 big hits, 1 pick, 1 sack. Kind of underwhelming, but I understand because that's, outside linebacker. I think, or was he a middle? I'll scroll back up and look. Then we have Ron Fryer right there. That's a real guy. If it's a real guy y'all see that was in the NFL at one point, just shrug it off because when you make these teams and put them in a franchise, I mean, it's going to be fictional, but the free agents are still there until like year 10 or year 11 or however the fuck long it takes. But yeah, we're seeing who leads the league in sacks right there. Givens, Jason Darby right in with 12 sacks. That is just beautiful. And Joe Fogel, the rookie, had a lot of sacks. Funny last name. Jeremy London, best kicker. Yeah, shout out to kickers, man. Real guy. And then we see Terrio Watkins on our team had the most kickoff return, tied for the most kickoff return touchdowns, but only 429 yards. That is crazy. And then also Hagen from the Bobcats. And then we're just looking through the rest of this stuff. But yeah, that's what I was saying about this league. Like, I definitely made it it's definitely like a vision in my head. Like, okay, if I was to have my own league, shout out Stephen Harris right there. Definitely receiver number 1, 9 years in. A lot of short guys in this league. But yeah, I was like, I want to make this like, football, like, how I want to see it. Fred Knight only at 5'8", putting one of the best careers together. Now, this is a little guy in big back league, I guess. I don't know. Madden generated some of these guys. I created.
I hate you, Chloe.
Benny Jenkins and Terrio Watkins are the only 2 players that I created in the franchise mode itself. But yeah, the DSFA football, and we're gonna the screen you see is Madden 09. I'm gonna swap all this out eventually. All the screens and shit. I'm gonna swap all this out with DSFA stuff eventually because I do know how to do texture replacement a little bit. But we're gonna look at the season before this season. A little SFA history momente. Yeah. Let's see. We're loading up. Tournament 1 is the first season. Oh yeah. There we go. But yeah, here we are looking at the records. The Kings, I think they only lost 2 games in the regular season last season. Then we have right here, Brett Chapman was the best quarterback last season. Randy Black was in the mix also. Icon status, you feel me? Josh Kendall also. And then we have Harry Harper, like I said, Hollings out of this league. I don't know what happened. I think he went to go play in the companion league actually. So Harper ended up taking the best running back award with 25 touchdowns, which is crazy. And then Sanders right there, and then we see Fred Knight in the mix. I told y'all he was a GOAT. 5'8" out here killing it. 11 years pro. Great career. And then we see Mike Jordan before he changed his number to 23. And then we see, the Niagara Knights always have had a great defense. You feel me? Josh Darby was the best in his position last year, which is crazy to see the continuity. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm definitely gonna have a video explaining the lore more, because there's a lot of things and a lot of ideas that I have for this series. And I hope y'all stay tuned. I know dropping 3 episodes in one day is kind of crazy, but I'm definitely working on this upcoming season and that storyline. So yeah, just stay tuned. It's football season.
EA Sports.
I'm trying to
It's
stay
in the
locked in
game.
with the Bengals and the Bearcats a little bit. So you know what I mean? Stay tuned, subscribe, like, and comment.